this session, yung CPE din, yung 1.7. Pero na ba dito? I have already shared the the link to their class. And I have also just uploaded the last chapter, no? Yung PDF copy ng ating last chapter. Kaka-upload ko lang ngayon. Kaka-share ko lang pala. Wait lang. Okay, so today is going to be the last meeting, no? Delayed na nga tayo dahil sa mga suspension of classes. And hoping that I will be able to encode grades immediately. Immediately. But I am still checking the previous activities, no? Na putol-putol kasi yung aking yung aking schedule sa pag-check. Actually, I've been ano visiting PUP since last week. Meron kasing remember that I am actually applying for my retirement, no? Kaso hindi siya na I was advised to move it to June 30 instead of January 30. Well, for the reason na hindi pa raw ako kasi 65 years old. And I need to just complete, no, the my ang tawag dito, my what's that anniversary, nasa yung anniversary ko sa PIN. Ang usual naman na anniversary is June, yung initial date na na-enter ka sa PUP, no? So, yun siya. Kaya lang, yun na-delay na ako ng 6 months. Well, anyway, okay pa din naman, no? Makakapagklase pa ako ng isang semester. So, kaya palagi ako nasa PUP nitong mga nakaraang panahon. Kasi may mga papers that I need to change, I need to sign, I need to submit. Yan. Well, anyway, ito na yung last lecture ko ngayon, no? This semester. And last meeting na rin natin, no? So, ang final exam ninyo will be January 30. Ba't ba hindi ko chine-check kung kailan yung enrollment ulit? Nakalimutan ko na. Kalimutan ko na yung enrollment. Wait lang, ha? Ah, nasa learning plan yun eh. Teka. Sa dami ng ng mga walang pasok, I think the enrollment is not adjusted. Okay, so last day ng online encoding of grades talaga this January 27 to 31. Tapos finalization ng grades ng non-graduating students February 4. Pero hindi ko pala na-include dito yung enrollment for the second semester. What's that? Okay. So, nakita ko na, pero hindi siya yung wala pala yung enroll. Hindi ko kasi na-check yung enrollment. Okay, so, madali lang ang linear programming. Actually, this can be discussed in less than 2 hours. Okay, so maiksi lang. And our focus is about graphing, no? Graphical method. there's another method, but that second method is actually not discussed in MMW, no, but in a full course ng linear programming, yung simplex method. So sa atin, graphical lang yan. So here is the learning objectives. By the end of this section, you should be able to define linear programming and optimization, identify the critical features of linear programming, use graphical method to solve the optimum solution, elaborate the steps in applying linear programming, solve optimization problem using the concept of linear programming, syempre, no? And perform sensitivity analysis on solutions to optimization problems, no? So you might ask, what's a linear programming, no? Okay, and it's a mathematical modeling technique useful for the allocation and decision making that involves scarce or limited resources such as labor, material, machine, time, warehouse space, etc. No? So kung may mga kayo ay may business, kahit na isang small business lang, no? Ay may mga ganitong mga bagay-bagay, no? Mga resources, di ba? And to several competing activities, no? So ito yung pwedeng product, no? Service, job, new equipment, projects, etc. No? So based on the given criteria or optimality. So this is used for decision making dahil ito yung pwede niyong gamitin to, for example, kung meron kayong malaking capital, no? And you would like to invest in a certain business na nag-involve ng production ng, say, shoes or bags, no? For example. So, dito, matututunan ninyo kung kailangan ba ubusin nyo yung capital ninyo for buying materials, machines, and say, working area, di ba kailangan nyo ng space, syempre, no? Or merong iba yung decision na are they going to just rent say a space for their manufacturing company or bibili na, no? So linear programming can actually help that, no? With that decision. Or lahat ba ng materials, meron naman akong capital, no? Pwede ko bang bilhin na lahat yan? May pambili naman ako. Kaya hindi ba ako malulugi doon? Okay, so again, with that decision, linear programming can actually help you, no? So some applications of linear programming are the product mix problem, no? Diet problems, profit planning, make or buy problems, no? Siguro itong make or buy, no? Ito yung madalas. Okay. Yung as simple as may nasirang gamit sa bahay ninyo, no? Katulad nung refrigerator namin malaki na nalubog sa baha nung bumaha last year, no? Yung Karina. Tapos when I bought it for about 37,000, no? And wala pa siyang 2 years. And then, nung tumawag ako ng repair, sabi sa akin, 11,800 yung cost ng repair, no? That includes the replacement of the parts, at saka yung may freon na kailangan, no? Tsaka yung labor and everything, pati yung consultation. So just imagine, yung 11,000 something can actually buy a new refrigerator, di ba? So, nahirapan din ako magdesisyon. Bibili ba ako o pare-repair ko, no? Something like that. Kasi when you buy with the 11,000, ang mabibili mo yung isang maliit na refrigerator na yung ordinary ang features, no? Pero yung nasira kasi non-inverter yon, di ba? Pag sinasabi kasi nila pag non-inverter, matipid daw sa kuryente. So parang I do not like to give it up as compared to sa bibiling ko siya ng 37,000. So ito yung decision na make or buy, no? And I weighed many things. So total naman meron pa siya pero wala na siya palang wala na siyang warranty, no? So every time na masisira na siya, hindi na libre, no? I can call the repairs, pero hindi na siya libre. So, but I still weigh what could be the best decision for that, no? Am I going to make, ibig sabihin ay to repair or buy a new one? So, I just decided to have it repaired. Yan. Well, 11,800. Okay, so yun na, no? Winay ko din naman yung mga consequences nun. Kung magawa siya at I actually asked the service, yung nagpo-provide ng service kung tatagal pa yung refrigerator, no? Sabi sa akin, mahaba pa ang buhay. Basta ma-repair lang. Well, anyway, I'm just sharing to you, no? Kasi it's a very ordinary make or buy decision. Okay, and transportation problems and agriculture problems, no? Okay. And the general procedure for solving linear programming problems is to graph inequalities. So I hope you still remember inequalities, no? Ito yung may equals, greater than or less than na 'di ba? Sa kanyang forms. Okay? And when you graph inequalities, yun ay nagre-represent ng constraints. Na kapag ka nagsama-sama yung mga constraints na yon, magpo-form sila ng closed region. No? Sinasara niya yung graph mo, tapos yung closed region na yon ang tatawagin nating feasible region. No? So, again, they are bounded by the constraints. And of course, that closed region, magkakaroon siya ng boundary lines. No? Yung boundary lines, meron din siyang intersection. And the intersections of the boundary lines are called corner points. Sila naman yung tinatawag na feasible solution. Yung feasible solution na yon is being used to evaluate the objective function, no? Ano naman yung objective function, no? Yung objective function, siya yung pinanggagalingan ng decision, no? Pagka na-substitute mo yung feasible solution do sa objective function, you can actually find there kung yung value na nakuha mo doon ay maximum or minimum o walang silbi. No? So, ibig sabihin, doon kayo makakakita ng values na madidesisyonan mo kung may tutubuin ba, may profit ba ang business mo, hindi ka ba malulugi, no? Or maximum ba o minimum values yung nakuha mo. Yan. Okay? And the following are requirements when solving linear programming problems, no? Siyempre, may decision variables. These are the quantities to be determined and should be interrelated and non-negative, no? Ang usual na variables are X and Y, okay? Then the one that I mentioned, the objective function, no? These are values that needs to be optimized, okay? So optimize or optimization is not new to you, mamaya. Babanggitin ko rin yan, no? It is the basis for decision making. Yan. Then we have the constraints, the one that I mentioned, no? They represent how each decision variable would use the controlled amount of resources, either scarce or abundant, no? And these are the limitations or restrictions on the decision variables. Ibig sabihin, I you would know, no? If you have enough resources or sakto lang, no? Na hindi ka malulugi, pero hindi ka rin kikita ng malaki, no? Just parang break even. Data gives the evaluation on the relationship between objective function and constraints. And then there is also what we call non-negative restriction for all linear programs, which means the values for decision variable should be be greater than or equal to 0. So, ito yung usual, no? X is equal or greater than 0. Ganon din yung Y. Yeah. And would you know that for a problem to be called a linear programming problem, yung decision variables, objective function, at saka yung constraints must be linear functions. No? So, dapat masatisfy yung tatlong conditions na yon para matawag na linear programming problem. No? So, I've been mentioning about the word optimize or optimization, no? This is not new to you because in calculus you also use this term, no? It's a mathematical technique for finding a maximum or minimum value of a function of several variables subject to a set of constraints, no? As the one that we are going to encounter in linear programming or any other mathematics that involves systems analysis. Okay. So, katulad nga nung sa calculus ninyo, di ba, may optimization din kayo doon. Okay, now here is a very clear steps in the graphical method of linear programming. No? First, you identify the decision variables and write the objective function. Okay. And then number 2, state the constraints and the non-negative restrictions. So with these steps, ready na kayo mag-graph, no? Na-identify nyo na yung decision variable, objective function, yung constraints, no? At saka syempre yung non-negative restriction. Okay, so ready na kayong mag-graph. Yan. You are going to graph the feasible region for the set of constraints in a rectangular coordinate system. So it's the feasible region which gives you or explains all values the problem can take. And it also gives the optimal solution. So how do you do the graphing? If you remember, no, in your, saan ba kayo nag-graph? Sa algebra, di ba, meron? I think you also graph in geometry, no? Meron din sa calculus. Pero sa calculus at this time, ang ginagraph nyo na mga hindi na basta-basta linear. No? Parabolic, elliptical, diba? Hyperbolic functions na. So, ito, simple lang to sa inyo kasi linear lang to eh. So, ang usual procedure na makakatulong sa inyo sa pag-graph yung slope-intercept form, no? Yung bang ide-determine mo yung y-intercept tsaka yung slope pagkatapos ipa-plot mo yung y-intercept and then you're going to use the slope para makuha mo yung inclination yan, pa. O kaya naman, you make use of table of values. Ito yung gumagawa ka ng, tabigi. Wait lang. Table of values, no? Gagawa ka ng paliit lang na ganitong table kung saan meron kang x saka y, tapos mag-a-assume ka ng value sa x, tapos magsusolve ka ng y, di ba? And since linear lang naman yung i-graph natin, 2 points is enough. No, pag may 2 points ka na, kukuha ka na ng ruler, pa-plot mo na, tapos kukuha ka ng ruler, kukonect mo sila, and then i-extend mo yung line, lalagyan mo ng label, at dahil ito ay inequalities, then there will be shading. No? Mag-shade ka ng parts ng inequalities. Now, a more easier method for graphing is to use the Desmos graphing calculator. No? So, sure ako, alam nyo na to. But for those who do not know yet, no, here's the link to the Desmos graphing calculator. No? So, ito mapapadali ang pagka-graph nyo dito. Yan. Okay? Mayroon lang tong, syempre, negative na ano, tawag dito. I mean, it's not always advantageous to use that shortcuts, no? Because you will be taking the board exam, and if you do not know how to do the graphing, no? At baka maka-encounter kayo ng linear programming problem, tapos di kayo marunong mag-graph, hindi naman allowed ang graphing calculator. So you should also know how to do the graphing manually. Okay? And then after determining the graph na tayo, no? So magde-determine na tayo pala ng corner points, no? Ito yung intersection ng inequalities na I mentioned a while ago, no? Tapos dito mo makikita yung intersection ng mga shaded portion ng inequalities, which will be called the feasible region. Yan. Again, tapos yung corner points, ay masusolve natin yan using algebraic solutions, no? I hope you still remember the Cramer's rule of determinants, no? The methods of elimination by addition or subtraction, and the methods of substitution. So, yung mga students ko na na-lecturean ko na nito, ang napansin ko ay hindi nila alam ang Cramer's rule of determinants. No? So, I actually decided to discuss it first. Mayan konti, no? A little later. Okay, so pagkatapos yung ma-determine ng corner point, syempre step 5 na tayo, no? This is where you are going to calculate the optimum value of the objective function by substituting the corner points to the objective function, no? So yung result nun ang magiging basis ng decision making. Yan. Example. Nihingal na naman ako. Ano ba ito? Wait lang ha. Ito naman ako. Okay. Let's have an example. Use the graphical method to compute the maximum and the minimum value of P equals to 5x plus 3y given the following constraints. No? X plus 2y equals or less than 14, 3x minus y equals or greater than 0, x minus y equals or less than, yan. So, ang unang step natin is to, diba, identify the decision variables. Kaso, given na kasi yung natin, yung P, no? Actually, itong P na to, ito yung nagre-represent na objective function, no? This is the function that needs to be optimized, no? Kaya nga nakalagay dito, compute the maximum and the minimum value of P. So, because it is the function that needs to be optimized. So, siya yung tinatawag nating objective function. So, to maximize p equals to 5x plus 3y. So may variables na tayong x and y. Yan. Tapos, yung constraints din natin ay given na rin and they are all in terms of y. No? So sila yung inequalities. Yan. And kailangan natin ng non-negative restrictions. Yung non-negative restrictions are actually assumption. No? We assume that x and y are equal or greater than 0. Yeah. Okay, so that's step 1 and 2. Then we now proceed to the step 3. No? Step 3 is graphing. So we graph the constraints. So let's begin with the first constraints here, which is x plus 2y. Hihingal ako. Equals or less than 14. Okay. So initially, when we graph an inequality, we begin graphing the equality part. No? Yung munang may equals. Ayan. So it means yung x plus 2y equals to 14. No? So actually, ito yung pinaka-borderline ng inequality. Okay, so pag magka-graph kayo, either gumamit tayo ng slope-intercept form kasi kailangan nating mag-identify ng mga points na dadaanan ng line, no? O kaya itong table of values. Yan. So kung table of values ang gagamitin ko katulad nitong ginagawa ko ngayon, mag-a-assume lang ako ng value sa x, for example, ay 0. Tapos, isa-solve ko yung y, no? So, kung 0 ang x, then 14, 2y is 14 or y is 7. Yan. Okay, so what if I assume that x is 4? Okay, so in that case, ita-transpose ko tong x dito. So, magiging 14 minus 4 equals to 2y or 10 divided by 2 is y, no? So, I think that's fine. Yan. 2 points lang ang kailangan natin, di ba? Kasi straight line to. So, ipa-plot natin yung points, yung pair of points na nakuha natin dito sa table. The first one is 0 and 7. So, from the origin, we count 7 units upward hanggang makarating tayo sa 7 kasi ito yung 0 at saka yung 7. Tapos, yung isa naman may abscissa na 4 at may ordinate na 5. So, I think this is the one. No? Okay. Kung gusto nyo mag-label, pwede rin. Kasi, di ba, importante rin yung alam mo kung anong point yung pinlat mo. Yan. Okay, so this is 4 and 5. And then the next step is to connect the points. You have to make use of your ruler, no? Kasi kung hindi, baluktot yan. But I cannot use ruler here. So, pagpasensyahan nyo na ang straight line ko. I will connect the 2 points and extend the line. Okay? So, that is now the boundary, no? Boundary of inequality. Yung boundary ng x plus 2y equals or less than 14. Okay? Ngayon, notice that the boundary actually divides the plane into 2 parts, no? The one dito sa taas, yan, these are the upper part of the graph, at saka yung isa ay nasa ilalim. Yan. And yung kasing inequalities ay nag-i-involve siya na shading ng portion ng graph, no? Including the borderline. So the question is, which part of the graph or the plane shall be shaded? Is it the upper part of the borderline or the lower part of the borderline? No? So ang gagawin nyo, magte-testing kayo. You are going to test which part to be shaded using any point that is very obvious that you can see in the graph. No? For example, the origin. Oo, hindi mawawala yung origin eh. So, isa-substitute nyo dun sa inequality. So, 0 plus 2. Origin has x and y 0, ha? Okay, so that 0 is equal or less than 14, no? So, since this inequality is true, this means that we are going to shade the portion where you can find the origin. So, asaan yun? Dito sa baba nung borderline na x plus 2y is equal to 14. So, ito ngayon yung tinatawag nating inequalities ang form, ang equation o inequation, inequalities, di ba? Ay x plus 2y equals or less than 14. So, this means it includes also the borderline, no? Ang borderline, yung kulay blue dito, ha? Naintindihan ba, Nicole de la Cruz? Bianca Nicole de la Cruz, yung mano-manong graph ko? Iha, Miss de la Cruz? Hello? Hala, si ano na lang? Si Carl Sebastian, Barcelona.
Okay naman po, ma'am.
Okay, so hindi naman mahirap. Okay, of course there is a better illustration for this graph, no? Ito na, syempre, mas maganda siya. Okay, this one is generated using ano tawag siya, yung Desmos graphing calculator, no? So, automatic, this will come out when you encode the inequality x plus 2y equals or less than 14, no? Mag-edit-edit na lang kayo ng kulay, both for the shade and the borderline, okay? Now, the other one that we need to graph is yung 3x minus y, the second constraint. Okay, so i-graph na rin natin to, no? But I will not graph everything. So, 3x minus y equals or greater than 0. Yeah. So, ang kailangan natin, yung 3x minus y equals 0, no? Yung linear function muna. So, yung equals 0 muna. Yeah. Okay, so ang suggestion ko dito, instead of table of values, pwede na itong i-ano sa slope-intercept form. Reduce to slope-intercept form. Oh. So, this is where you find the y-intercept is 0 and the slope is 3. Okay? And when the y-intercept is 0, it means that you are going to begin the graph by plotting 0 and then moving from that's the y-intercept, no? And then moving 3 units upward, pataas yon, di ba? 3 units to represent the change in y and 1 unit to the right to represent the change in x. Okay, so remember that if the slope is just one number, hindi siya naka-fraction, no? Ibig sabihin nun, ang denominator nun ay 1. Yun yung change in x. Okay. So, now that I have plotted the y-intercept and na-move ko yung slope niya, no? Ito na yung terminal point. Iko-connect ko yan dito sa origin using a ruler to be able to, hala, oh, ang hirap. Yan. Gumalaw. Well, mahirap yung effort ng mag-graph sa PowerPoint. Ayan. So, yun yung 3x minus y equals 0, no? So, you will also notice that the borderline 3x minus y equals 0 have divided the plane into two parts, no? Yung isa yung nasa bandang parang kanan niya, no? Pero ilalim niya yun eh. Tapos yung nasa kaliwa o yung balang nasa taasan ng graph. Yan. Okay, so magte-testing ulit tayo. But we cannot use the origin kasi dinaanan siya ng line, no? So you just need to choose another point na nasa graph, no? Halimbawa, dito ako mamimili sa first quadrant. Oh, how about choosing this point? This is 3 and 2. Okay. I mean, 3 ang abscissa, 2 ang ordinate. Yun ang ipang-test natin dun sa given na inequalities, no? So, 3 times 3, that's x is 3 minus y, which is 2. Is it equal or greater than 0, no? So, kung true yan, yung inequality na yan, i-check ko siya. Yan, true siya kasi 9 minus 2 is 7, which is equal or greater than 0. So, this indicates that we can share that portion where the point that we tested for inequality is located. So, dito siya. Yan. So, ito yung portion na nahandito yung buong inequality, no? Itong buo na to. So, siya. Yan. Okay? Of course, this is a better illustration. 3x minus y equals or greater than 0. That includes also the borderline. No? Okay? So, whatever procedures would you like to solve the third inequality, no? So, bahala na kayo dito, but I assume that you already know how to graph x minus y equals or greater than 2. So, that is step 3, no? Okay, and this is the step 4, okay? So, when doing the graph, we have to put all those graphs in just one rectangular coordinate system. No? Ang reason kung bakit ko pinaghiwa-hiwalay ito, kasi para ma-review ninyo yung manual graphing. Yan. Pero they should be put in just, or they should be drawn in just one rectangular coordinate system. No? Para makita ninyo kung saan sila nagkaroon ng intersections. Yan. At kung saan sila form ng feasible region. No? So, ito yung intersection ng tatlong inequalities. No? At ito yung closed region or the feasible region. Ngayon, notice na may mga corner points yan. Yung corner points na yon, yun ang isosolve natin using the step 4. Okay? Kasi intersection yun ng mga lines. Eto. Okay? So, nilagyan natin ng name ang bawat corner points. Ito ay corner point A, corner point B, at saka corner point C. Yan. Okay? Tapos, sorry. Sinadya kong gamitin ang Cramer's rule of determinant for the purpose of solving the corner points for this problem. No? Ang reason ko ay do sa aking pagtatanong sa mga dati kong students, hindi talaga nila alam ang Cramer's rule. No? So, you will see in this slide, gumagamit siya ng matrix, no? O matrices. Ayan, no? Yung isa nasa numerator, yung isa nasa denominator, no? Okay? At ang may tanong nga din ako, check ko lang din nga, si Bondok, Dance Axel Doc Bondok, Iho. Can I ask you a question? Hello? Axel, yeah. Ikaw ba, naalala mo ang Cramer's rule of determinant? Sa algebra to itinuturo. I just want you to, hindi mo maalala. Siya, di ba? So, ganyan lahat ang sagot eh. Kaya naisipan kong i-discuss to eh. What about you, Ernie Tevez Jr.?
Hindi po naturo sa amin yan.
Talaga?
Opo, first time ko lang po
Oh,
itong naririnig.
narinig. Okay. Well, at least we're not just discussing here the linear programming, but also reviewing the Cramer's rule of determinant. So, determinant talaga siya. Okay, at para magamit ninyo itong Cramer's rule, ganito dapat yung itsura ng equation. No? Remember, this is used to solve corner points, no? And yung corner points are intersection ng lines. Hindi sila yung intersection ng inequalities, no? But the lines. So, kaya linear equations yung may encounter ninyo. So, for example, a sub 1x plus b sub 1y equals to d sub 1. Ito yung equation 1. Tapos yung equation 2 ay a sub 2x plus b sub 2y equals to d sub 2, no? So, ano yung mga kaibahan ng mga nakikita nyo ditong mga variables, no? Yung A1 at saka A2, numerical coefficients yan ng x for both the equations, no? I mean, equation 1 and 2 respectively. B1 and B sub 2 para naman sa numerical coefficients ng y, no? Tapos D1 and D sub 2, these are the constants. So remember, yung nasa right side ng equation, yun yung D1, okay? Or D sub 2. Now, kailangan nyo lang i-arrange yung nasa loob ng determinant. So, ang tawag natin dito, yung nasa loob mismo ng determinants na mga, ang tawag dyan, variables na may subscripts, no? Ay elements. They are called elements of determinants. And itong determinants na nakikita nyo ay may measurement na 2 by 2 square matrix, no? Hindi ko na ito sinama sa mga discussion ko kasi madali naman siyang natandaan, no? Why 2 by 2? Kasi meron siyang 2 rows and 2 columns, no? So, in some cases, meron ding 3 by 3. Oh, ginagamit ko kasi ito sa pag-solve ng linear equations hanggang 4 variables sa algebra ko. Nung nagtuturo ako ng algebra, no? Okay, so may 3 by 3, meron ding 4 by 4. Ayan. So, ito ay 2 by 2. Okay, at isi-set up nyo lang yung elements ng determinants. Okay, sa first column, sa numerator, nakita nyo yung D1 tsaka D sub 2, no? Siya yung constant. Yan. Tapos, sa second column, ito yung numerical coefficient ng Y. So, ganyan mo siya a-arrange, no? In the denominator, numerical coefficient naman ng X. Yan. Okay. Ang first column. At ang second column, numerical coefficient ng Y. So, parehas nung nasa numerator. Okay? Pagka naman Y ang sinosolve nyo, kailangan nyo ng numerical coefficient ng X sa first column, sa numerator. Yan yon. Tapos yung constant napunta sa second column, no? Hindi katulad dun sa X na sa first column siya. Yan. And notice that yung denominator ng Y is the same as the denominator of X. Yung first column, numerical coefficient ng X, at yung second column, numerical coefficients ng Y. Okay, so ganun lang kadali, ha? Okay, so mag-solve tayo ngayon. Kung ito ay corner point A, ang line na nag-intersect dyan, yung borderlines mismo na 3x minus y equals 0 at saka x plus 2y is equal to 14. So, yun yung equations na kailangan natin. No? So, it's up to you whichever you would like to be the first, yung equation 1 saka equation 2. Pwede mong kapaliktad dyan. Okay, so, eto na. No? Ise-set up na natin yung first column ng numerator ng x, di ba yun yung constant according to the formula kanina. Tapos yung second column, ito yung 2 at saka negative 1 na coefficient naman ng y or numerical coefficient of y. Tapos yung denominator, yung unang column, numerical coefficient yun ng x, no? Which is 1 and 3. Tapos yung 2 and -1 naman para sa second column. Okay, so mamaya na natin i-discuss yung y. Ganito ang gagawin natin. Para ma-evaluate natin yung determinant na to, kailangan nating mag-multiply ng pa-diagonal. Yan. Yung diagonal downward, it should be preceded by a plus sign and you multiply all the numbers na masagasaan ng diagonal line na yan, no? And that is 14 times -1, preceded by a plus sign. So this is the one. Okay? Tapos, yung isang diagonal ay pataas. Okay? Pero it is preceded by a minus sign, no? 0 times 2. So minus, ito yung minus, 0 times 2. Okay. Next step, yung denominator naman. Pa-diagonal, downward. Preceded by a plus sign is 1 times -1. Yung pataas, preceded by minus sign, minus, ito yung minus, 3 times 2. Okay. So, the next step is to simplify itong result ng minultiply natin, no? Umpisahan natin sa 14 times -1, -14 yan. 0 times 2, 0 yan, no? But don't forget, may minus tayo dito, no? So, -14 minus 0 divided by 1 times -1 is -1 minus 3 times 2, which is 6. Okay. Simplifying further, this gives you -14 divided by -7 is positive. So that is x. Madali lang ba ang Cramer's rule? Okay. I-check natin using y naman, no? Okay. So kung y ang isosolve natin, yung numerator ng first column should be numerical coefficient of x, no? Which is 1 at saka 3, no? Tapos, yung numerical, yung second column is not numerical coefficient, but the constants 14 and 0. Yung denominator, parehas ng entry ng denominator ng x. So, in short, ang nagbago lang ng entries, yung numerator. Yung denominator, parehas lang. Yan. Okay? Ngayon, magmumultiply na tayo ng pa-diagonal. 1, positive 1 times 0. Ito yon. Tapos, minus 3 times 14. Okay, this one. Ang denominator, 1 times -1, parehas nung denominator ng x, minus 3 times 2, which is 6. Okay? So, ayusin natin para hindi masyadong maraming dumi. 1 times 0 is 0, minus 3 times 14 is -42. 1 times -1 is -1. Minus 3 times 2 is 6 or -7. Okay, so therefore y is -42 divided by -7 is +6. So the corner points of A is at +2 and 6. Madali lang ba? Crystal, Jean, Chubeo. Naintindihan mo naman, Ineng. Ha, Miss
Yes
Chubeo?
po, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Sige. Okay, let's proceed to the corner point B, no? So, pag nagsosolve kayo, you always relate to the graph, no? Kasi baka mamaya, akala mo corner point yun, corner point B yun, o corner point A yun, yung pala ibang corner point yung nasusolve mo, no? So, i-check mo, ito ang corner point B. It is the intersection of x plus 2y equals 14 and itong line na to na x plus x minus y equals 2. Okay? So, pag sinolve mo, ito mismo yung masosolve mo. Yan. So, ito na yung dalawang equations. Now, i-set up muna natin yung determinants natin, no? O yung matrix na 2 by 2 square matrix. Sa first column ng numerator ng x, yung constant na 14 and 2. Tapos 2 and negative 1 yung second column kasi yun yung numerical coefficient ng y. Ang denominator ay merong first column na parehong 1, numerical coefficient ng x, tapos 2 and negative 1 naman. This is the numerical coefficient of y. Okay, so pamultiply tayo ng padiagonal. Okay, this is 14 times negative 1. Ito yon. Tapos minus 2 times 2. Okay. Denominator, 1 times negative 1. Ito yun sa denominator. Minus 1 times 2. Okay, so that's very clear. Simplifying further, (14 times negative 1 minus 4 is negative 18. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1 minus 1 times 2 is negative 2. Negative 1 minus 2 is negative 3. So x is negative 18 divided by negative 3 is positive 6. Okay. Proceed to y. No? Pag y naman ang sinosolve, ang first column ay numerical coefficient ng x. No? Ito yon, diba? 1 tsaka 1. Tapos, yung second column, yun yung constant na 14 and 2. Tapos, yung denominator, kaparehas ng denominator ng x. So, ala tayong masyadong problema dyan kasi ang first column niyan, numerical coefficient ng x, at ang second column, yung numerical coefficient ng y. Yan. Pag-multiply na tayo, pa-diagonal, 1 times 2. O, dito yun, no? Mag-shortcut tayo. Oo, sa katagalan kasi, mag-shortcut nyo na itong procedure na to. 1 times 2 is 2 minus 1 times 14 is minus 14. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1 minus 1 times 2 is negative 2. And 2 minus 14 is negative 12. Negative 1 minus 2 is negative 3. If you divide negative 12 by negative 3, y is equal to 4. So the coordinates of P is 6 and 4. Yeah. Okay, so the last for the points, ayan, sa graphing matagal, ano? Oo. Dito na tayo. This is the corner point. Nawala yung kulay. Asan? This is corner corner point 3x. Of the lines 3x minus y equals to 0, tsaka x minus y equals 2. Okay. So, ito na yun. No? Okay, so mag-set up ulit tayo. First column, constant, 2, 0. Second column, numerical coefficient ng y. Denominator, first column, numerical coefficient ng x, which is 1 and 3. Ang second column ay parehong negative 1, ang numerical coefficient ng y. Mag-multiply tayo ng pa-diagonal. 2 times negative 1, negative 2 minus 0. No? Ang denominator, 1 times negative 1 is negative 1 minus 3 times negative 1 is positive 3. So that x is negative 2 divided by positive 2 is negative 1. Okay, for y, we replace the first column by the numerical coefficient of x, no, which is 1 and 3. 2 and 0 yung constant sa second column. Same entries sa denominator as the denominator of x, no? Pag multiply na tayo ng pa-diagonal, 1 times 0, 0, minus 3 times 2 is 6. Denominator 1 times negative 1, negative 1, minus 3 times negative 1 is positive 3. Okay, so that y is negative 6 divided by positive 2 is still negative 3. No? Okay, so madali ba itong proseso na to? Kenyano, Ethan, Shello. Hello, Ethan. Shello Quiniano. Yung iba galing na sa ibang section, ano? O, pero alam ko parehas kayo ng course. Ba't ayaw sumagot? Enabore, Giancarlo, ikaw nga. Gian, children, nasaan na ba kayo? Lord Van Baltasar. Bakit hindi kayo sumasagot? You can even chat, di ba? At pag hindi kaya ng microphone, you can just chat. Oh, di ba? Okay, so I just want to know if you have understood the Kramer's rule, no? So, ito yung hindi na ituro sa inyo. Aralin nyo to. Alam nyo, madali lang tong procedure na to, sa totoo lang. Kesa dun sa long method of elimination and substitution. Ay, mas gusto ko to. And in fact, kung katulad nito, no, pag nasolve mo na yung x and y, pwede mo nang i-substitute. Yung substitution, madali na sa isa pang equation. So at least meron kang procedure na madadali lang. Pwede mong sabihin na mabibilis mo lang siyang magagawa. No? And by the way, if sa pag-graph ninyo sa step 3 ay na-graph nyo siya ng maayos, no? I mean, malinaw and the coordinates are clear, no? Kaya mo siyang basahin. You can also obtain the corner points graphically, no? For example, itong corner point na to, may abscissa na 2 yan, tsaka may ordinate na 6. Yan. Itong corner point na to, merong abscissa na 6, ordinate na y, no? Ito lang siguro hindi masyadong malinaw kasi maliit. Ay, ito pala yun. Okay. -1 tsaka -3 yan. Okay? So, if the graph is very clear and accurate, no, you can obtain the corner points graphically din, no? Pero pag malabo itong ganitong procedure kapag yung corner points ay mga fraction of a decimal, no? Kasi mahirap mag-approximate ng fractions. Yan. So, graphically, ha? All right. So, now that we have all the corner points, we are now ready. Okay, ito yung daya, no? Gumamit tayo ng Desmos Graphing Calculator. And sa Desmos kasi ma-determine mo din yung corner points din. Yan. Pati yung mga points na ginamit ninyo, limbawa, yung mga sa intercepts, determine mo. Even, it can even label the equations of the lines. No? Hindi ko lang siya na-labelan. Nagmamadali eh. Yan. So, ito yung sa Desmos, ha? If you know the Desmos graphing calculator. But, of course, I want you to know also the manual way of doing this. Kasi sabi ko nga, kung magtitake kayo ng board exam, you may not be using Desmos graphing calculator, no? Sa pagdedetermine ng mga point of intersections ng lines. No? Yan. Okay. So here is the last step. Find the optimum value of the objective functions, no? And here is the objective function. P is 5x plus 3y, no? So, at corner point A, with coordinates at 2 and 6, substitute nyo dun sa objective function, no? Ang nakuha ko ay 28. At corner point B, with coordinates at 6 and 4, I obtained a value of P, which is 42. And at C, with coordinates at -1, -3, the value of the P is -14. No? So obviously, we can find the maximum value of P at B, corner point B, no? So itong corner point na to ang nagbigay ng pinakamataas na value. So siya yung maximum value. Yung pinakamababa, syempre, ayan, -14, no? At corner point C. Kung ito ay pera, negative, they mean something that you lose, no? Okay, so kung pwede ang minimum mo yung point A. Pero kung hindi siya pera at value lang siyang katulad nito, no? Pwedeng ang minimum mo ay yung point C. Yan. Okay, so that's it. We now proceed to the another example. Some of the products of a furniture manufacturing company are tables and chairs. Okay. Each table is sold at 1,900 pesos each, and each chair at 650 pesos. One of the carpenters can afford to spend up to 40 hours per week working. No? So, yung 40 hours per week, that is equivalent to 8 hours per week, per day, no? Times 5. Yan. So, maximum of 8 hours per day yan. And takes 6 hours to make a table and 3 hours to make a chair. So, in short, kung gagawa ang carpenter ng table at saka chair, hindi niya matatapos sa isang araw kung 8 hours lang, no? So, 6 hours kasi yung table, tapos 3 hours naman yung chair. Ayan. Okay, and ito pa yung nakakaapekto sa kanilang manufacturing company, no? Yung clientele, syempre, no? Clientele demand requires that he makes at least 3 times as many chairs as tables, no? Very demanding ang clientele. Okay. But tables take up 4 times as much as storage space as chairs, and there is room for at most 4 tables each week, no? So when you have this kind of company or manufacturing company, for sure, kailangan mo ng storage space, no? Kasi yun ang paglalagyan mo ng mga, finished products. Tsaka, di ba, kailangan mo din ng space para sa mga raw materials mo, malalaking kahoy, malalaking mahabang kahoy, ganyan, no? So, sabi dito, yung tables daw, ay ang space na na-occupy niya is 4 times as that of the chairs, no? Tapos, ang isang room or a room can accommodate at most 4 tables each week. Yan. So, ibig sabihin, 4 na tables lang ang kinakaya ng kanilang company, no? Pero kung tatanggalin mo yung isang table na yon, yung yung 4 na chairs kasya dun sa space that is being occupied by the table. Okay, now determine the number of tables and chairs to make per production to maximize profit of furniture manufacturing company, and express this problem as a linear programming problem and solve it graphically. No? Okay. So, wala tayong variables, no? So, for the step 1, we determine the decision variables, no? Ito yon. Let X be the number of tables produced per week, and let Y be the number of chairs produced per week. Yan. Anong objective natin, no? Ang objective natin, ito, determine the number of tables and chairs to make per production to maximize profit of manufacturing company, no? So, considering yung selling price ng table ay 1,900 at saka yung selling price ng chair is 650 pesos. So that's why we have this equation for the objective as 1,900x plus 650 times 5. Yan. Ito na ngayon yung mga constraints, no? The constraints is affecting the production of the tables and chairs, no? So ito yung sobrang nakakaapekto, like yung total work time ng carpenter, no? 'Di ba 40 hours per week? Yan. Tapos yung carpenter can make 6 hours of the tables and 3 hours of the chair. So yung 6x plus 3y should be equals or less than 40, no? So ibig sabihin, maximum na yung 40. So hindi pwedeng maging 41 hours, 42. So it could be nag-undertime. Kung nag-undertime yung carpenter, then it may be less than 40. Pero kung sakto lang sa time, 40 hours equals 40. Okay. So ato yung demand ng clientele, no, that yung carpenter should make at least 3 times as many chairs as tables, diba? So that's why we have y is equal or greater than 3x from the statement 3 times as many chairs as tables, or makes at least 3 times. Okay, so doon nang galing yung statement na inequality na y is equal or greater than 3x. Yung storage space, no? Because the space being occupied by the table ay 4 times ng chair ang pwedeng ipalit doon, no? 'Di ba? At most, 4 tables lang ang kakayanin ng storage space. So that's why we have here y over 4 plus x equals or less than 4. Okay. And the last, sa step 2 is yung non-negative restrictions na x equals or greater than 0 and y equals or greater than 0. Okay, so that's step 1 and 2. So, ibig sabihin, mag-graph na tayo, no? Magko-construct na tayo ng graph. Alright, so, i-graph natin yung unang inequalities, no? 6x, di ba borderline muna? Okay. And I will show you how we can graph easily, no? Okay. Ako ang madalas kong gamitin pagka nag-graph ako, para yung in-avoid ko na yung mag-table of values o kaya mag-count ng ano nga ito, slope, change in y, tsaka change in x, no? Ito na lang ginagawa ko. Sinosolve ko yung A. A is actually the x-intercept and B, the y-intercept. And I do it mentally, no? So, for example, of solving the x-intercept is to divide, no? Will you do this? Divide the constant, this is the constant, 40 by 6, no? So, 40 divided by 6 is actually equals, ayan, nagka-calculator. Sabi ko pa naman kanina mentally, no? Oo, wala ako sa mood mag-mental computation. Okay, so 6.7. So 6.7 ang x-intercept, no? Tapos, pag dinivide mo yung 40 by the numerical coefficient of y, so that means 40 divided by 3, no? Is 16, sorry, not 16, but 13. Ay, mali ako. 40 divided by, tama naman pala. So it's 13.3, no? Okay. So this one is 13.3. Ano tong mga to, no? They are actually the x and the y-intercept. and they can be plotted along the x and the y-axis. So for example, A is 6.7, ipa-plot mo na lang. Ito yun, yun yung 6.7. Yan. Pa-plot mo yung B, 13.3. Ito dun. Okay, so kaya lang, naka-draw na kasi yung graph. Yan. Tapos, get a ruler, connect the points, and extend the line. Hala, ba't ako nalulubat? Okay. Connect the points and extend the line. So again, ito yung graph ng equality, no? So mag-shade tayo by testing the the given inequality, no? So pwede natin gamitin ulit yung origin. So if x is 0 and y is 0, then 0 is equal or less than 40, no? And because it's true, then we can shade this portion na nasa kaliwa o nasa ilalim o baba ng given na borderline. Okay, so we now have that 6x plus 3y equals or less than 40. No? Itong pangalawang graph, madali lang to, slope-intercept form. Kasi may ano na siya. Gagawin nyo na lang equality y equals 3x yan diba? So, ang y-intercept is 0, tapos magka-count ka ng 3 units upward, tsaka 1 unit to the right, connect the points, extend the line. Okay, so paano naman natin i-graph to? Pwede rin to ng intercept form. Okay, so mas maganda siguro kung nakaano siya, no? Tanggalin natin yung fraction. 4x plus y equals 16, di ba? Ayan. So, kailangan natin na mag-divide ng numerical coefficient ng, the constant by numerical coefficient of x. So, 16 divided by 4 is 4, no? So, the numerical coefficient of x is equals to, intercept 4. X-intercept. Kaya lang, yung b mo, malaki. 16 siya. The y-intercept is 16. So, ipa-plot mo lang. Plot mo yung A is 4, B is 16. Yun lang, hindi ko na nakikita. Wait lang. This is A is 4, B is 16. Connect the points, extend the line, and test for the inequality. No? After testing for the inequality, i-shed mo yung required na plane. Okay, so I hope that's clear, no? Let's put all these graphs or inequalities in one rectangular coordinate system. So ito na silang tatlo. Okay, this is the feasible region, no? Siya yung closed figure. Tapos, lagyan natin ng pangalan. A, B, at saka C. Ang corner points. At this time, hindi ako gagamit ng Cramer's rule, no? Okay, gusto ko ring ma-review ninyo yung elimination method. So, para ma-solve ko yung corner points, step 4 na yon, di ba? Kailangan ko nitong line na to. This is the border line. 6x plus 3y equals 0. And the border line, y over 4 plus x equals 4. So, yun ang gagamitin natin. These two equations. Okay, I think I multiplied this equation 2 by 4. And this is the result for x plus y equals to 16. I call that equation 2. The other equation is equation 1. And then by elimination method, we mean we eliminate one of the variables to be able to find the other variable, x. So it's just like eliminating x to give way to y, or eliminating y to give way to x. Yeah. So for this particular equations, no, notice that we can immediately eliminate y, or it's the easier to eliminate, no? And we can do it by multiplying equation 2 by 3. No? Now, here is the result. 12x plus 3y equals 48. No? And then subtract natin yung isang equation. 6x plus 3y equals 40. Now, we begin the elimination by subtraction. No? 12 minus 6x is 6x. 3y minus 3y is 0. 48 minus 40 is 8. Oh, in short, 6x equals 8. Dividing both sides by 6 so that x is 8 over 6 or 4 over 3. Okay, so di ba mahaba yung elimination? And then we substitute the value of x to the other equation. No? In this example, it's equation 2 that I use. Yeah. That means for x plus y equals 16. Yan. And ito na yung sinubstitute natin sa x. Alright, to cut it short, y is 32 over 3. No? So algebraic procedure na yung iba talaga. Okay, so therefore the corner point A is at 4 over 3 and 32 over 3. Okay. So balikan natin ang corner point B. Ang corner point B is making use of this line and this line, no, or border lines. Yan. So, y is 3x and itong fraction. Okay. So, dahil given yung y equals to 3x, we can use it to substitute to the other equation, no? So, sinubstitute na siya rito na ang y is 3x so that we have 3x over 4 plus x equals 4. Yeah. And simplifying, I think I again multiplied the whole equation by 4. So that means 3x plus 4x equals 16. 3x and 4x is 7x equals 16, or x is 16 over 7. We substitute the value of x to y is equal to 3x, so that y is 48 over 7. So, ito yung corner point P, no? 16 over 7 and 48 over 7. So, ito yung medyo, pag mag-graphical method tayo at gusto lang nating silipin graphically yung corner points, medyo mahirap, no? Kasi sobrang liliit nung fractions ng decimals. Corner point C. Ang corner point C ay ito naman ang ginamit na equations or borderlines. Y is 3x and 6x plus 3y equals 40. Okay, so ito na yun, no? Ito din, madali. Isa-substitute mo lang yung 3x sa y, ayun. So, ang result niyan, magiging 6x plus 3 times 3x equals 40. 9x plus 6x is 15x equals 40, or x is 40 over 15, reducing 8 over 3. Substitute natin yung x dun sa y is 3x. Ito na siya. So that y is equal to 8. Okay. So those are the corner points. And if you graph it using the Desmos graphing calculator, you will still obtain the same points. Ayan, so yun ang kagandahan. Hindi tayo mahihirapang mag-solve ng ganito, no? Pero katulad ng sinasabi ko, no, you should know this also. At baka madali kayo sa board exam nyo, akala nyo, pwede kayong gumamit ng Desmos graphing calculator, no? Yung pala, mamano-mano kayo ng solutions nyo. Ayan. Okay. Then, so we are done with step 4. Step 5 is evaluating the the objective function. No? So ito yung objective function. P is 1,900x plus 650y at point A with coordinates at 4/3 and 32/3, 9,466.67 ang P, no? At point B, 16/7 and 48/7, P is 8,800. And C, 8/3 and 8, 10,266.67 ang P. No? Okay, so wala naman tayong negative values, no? Kagandahan. Pero ang maximum value, di ba profit to, ang maximum profit is obtained at corner point C, where X is 8/3 and Y is 8, no? So, it actually gives us 10,266.67 no? Profit. Okay, so what does this means? No? That yung maximum profit ng manufacturing company nila ay can be obtained when they produce per week 8/3 tables and 8 chairs. Diba? Okay? So, that's it. Isa na lang. One last problem, no? Like what I said, ano lang tayo, maiksi lang to. Kasi nakakaumay din yung maraming example sa graphing. Wala bang tanong? Mr. Erosa, baka may tanong ka.
Wala.
Okay, so mukhang madali sa inyo ah. O, di ba? Okay, let's proceed with the last problem. A popular ferry boat company offers cheap tickets for economy seats from Batangas Port to Puerto Galera. No? So, those who are familiar with the Batangas Port, ayan. So, meron din palang nag-o-offer ng mga, this is I think promo, no? Okay, so despite the cheap tickets, the company still expect to gain a maximum profit, and to realize profit, it must sell a minimum of 25 economy seats, tickets, and a minimum of 40 business seats tickets. Okay, so the company makes a profit of 225 pesos for each economy seats ticket and 200 pesos. Wait lang. And ang aga kong antokin, 200 pesos for each business seats ticket. But another thing that has to be considered is the ferry boat has a capacity of 150 travelers, no? So maximum yon. Di na pwedeng dagdagan or else lulubog yung ferry boat, di ba? So how many of each ticket should be sold in order to maximize the company's profits? Ay, sorry. Tumalon. Oh. Okay, so ang step 1 is to determine the decision variables, no? So let X be the number of economy seats tickets and Y be the number of business class seats tickets. So it's up to you which you would like to be the X and the Y, no? Okay, yan. Now, ano yung goal dito, no? Ma-maximize yung profits. So ito ngayon yung objective function. Remember that according to the problem, the company makes a profit of 225 for each economy seats ticket and 200 for each business seats ticket. So, kaya meron tayong objective function na P is 225x plus 200y. No? And despite parang mali yung aking terms dito. The company still expect the largest profit as possible despite the following constraints, no? Ito yung constraints. Sell at least 25 economy seats, no? how do we present this in terms of inequalities, no? Di ba ang economy seats is X, seats tickets yan na X. So, sell at least 25 economy seats. Ibig sabihin, minimum yung 25 economy seats. So, pwede siyang mas marami pa, no? So, X is equal or greater than 25. Sell at least 40 business class seats tickets. So, Y could be equals or greater than 40. So, that is our translation for these statements of constraints. But no more than 150 tickets can be sold. It is the capacity of the boat. So that means if we add all the business class seats tickets and economy seats tickets, ang total niyan should be equal or less than 150. No more. Yan. Okay, so that's actually step 1 and 2, ha? Pero, teka, meron pa yata. Yung non-negative restrictions natin, di ko na naisama, no? X is equal or greater than 0. So, dahil, ano to number of economy seats tickets, di ba? So, ibig sabihin, syempre, it can never be equals to 0, pero we still have an assumption that X is equal or greater than 0. Tapos yung Y is equal or greater than 0. I-graph na natin. Y is equal to 40. Okay, so ito yung isa pang nakikita kong hindi alam i-graph ng mga students, no? Yung isang variable, when it is, say, for example, Y is equal to 40, no? Ito muna, yung borderline muna. Ibig sabihin yan, magka-count ka ng 40 units pataas, no? So, ito yung 0, 20, 40. Tapos, magdodraw ka ng horizontal line. So, if the equation is in terms of Y, the line is horizontal, no? Because what is given there is yung distance na 40 nung straight line from the origin, no? Yun yung nakikita nyong given, Y is equal to 40. Wait lang. So, ito yung 40. Distance of line from the origin is 40. And ito yung Y is equal to 40. Yan. Okay. Pagka kasi isang variable, hindi rin alam. Yan. Okay? So, as yan ngayon yung isi-shade natin, no? Although obvious naman na naka-shade na yung upper portion, pwede ulit tayo mag-testing. We test any point, no? But the obvious point that we can test is the origin again, no? So when Y is equal or greater than 40 and you substitute the origin to Y, 0 is equal or greater than 40 is false. Yan. False yan. Okay, so dahil false yan, so ang isi-shade mong portion, yung nasa taas, no? Kasi wala dun yung origin. Yung origin nasa baba. Okay, false kasi siya so yan na yun yung inequalities. Yun namang X is equal to 25. Equals 25. Ibig sabihin nito, vertical lang line mo, no? And you are going to move to count 25 units to the right. So, kunyari, ito na yung origin, tapos andito na yung 25 units, no? Ito. Yan. Pagkatapos niyan, you are going to draw a vertical line, no? Okay. So, yan yung X is 25. Okay. Paano yung inequality? Yung shaded portion, magte-testing ulit tayo, no? 0 equals or greater than 25 is false. So, in short, we do not shade the portion kung Sa anahan doon yung origin, no? Doon tayo sa opposite side niya. Yan. So, ito yung inequalities. Yan. Okay? So, kompleto na tayo sa graph. Hindi pa pala. May isa pa. Okay. Ang suggestion ko dun sa x plus y equals 150 yan, di ba? Intercept form na lang. Yan. Okay, where A is 150. Okay, because 150 divided by 1, no, is A. And 150 divided by 1, the numerical coefficient of B yun, no, is 150 pa rin. Kasi 1 yung numerical coefficient. So, i-plot yun lang. So, I think this is by 50s, no? Kaya pag pinlot mo, ito yung 150 horizontally and the y-intercept. Yan. Tapos connect the points, extend the line. Testing again for the inequalities, no, yung origin, no? So 0 plus 0 is less than 150 is true, no? Kaya naka-shade tong portion na to sa baba. Okay, let's put all these three inequalities in one rectangular coordinate system. Ito na yung ating feasible region. And you can also see the corner points na pinangalanan kong corner point A, B, at saka C, no? Sila yung mga feasible points. Yan. Okay. Okay, let's begin solving corner point A. Madali lang to. Puro substitution lang yata to eh. Oo. So, etong corner point A na to is making use of the line x is 25 at saka itong x plus y equals to 150. Corner point A yon. So, x is 25. Wait lang. Substitute nyo sa x, no? This is the 1. Solving for y is 125. In short, corner point A is at 25 and 125. Okay, sa corner point B naman, take a look at this line, no? X is 25 yan. Tsaka ito, y is 40. Intersection yun nung corner point B eh. So, dahil x is 25 na, at tapos y is 40, so ang corner point B is 25 and 40. No? So, ang last natin, yung y is equal to 40, you can double check. And x plus y is 150. Corner points dito, itong intersecting lines na to. Just substitute to y. X now is 110. Okay, so therefore, corner point C is at 110 and 25. Ready to evaluate the objective function? So the objective function is P is 225x plus 200y. So at point A, corner point, the coordinates are 25 and 100 and 100. Teka. 25. So substitute lang. The value of P is 30,625. At corner point B, 25 and 40, P is 13,625. And at corner point C, 110 and 40, 32,750 ang value ng P. Okay. So obvious naman na, no? Ang combinations ng tickets to be sold ay 110 economy seats tickets and 40 business class seats tickets. Ang kailangang maibenta nung popular boat company, no, to be able to maximize the profit, no, which is ito, yung 32,750, no? Pero dito, wala namang nakikitang lugi, no? Meron pa rin siyang profit kung halimbawa 25 tickets lang yung yung economy seat, saka 40 yung business class seats tickets naman. So, kaya lang, mababa lang profit niya. 13,625. Okay, so with this problem, I am ending the first semester for MM. Question? Wala kayong tanong. Naintindihan ba? Okay, that's linear programming by graphical method, no? Well, you can use the Desmos graphing calculator, but I also advise you to learn the manual way of solving and graphing the corner points, no? Kasi alam niyo na, no? Uh, Gagamitin nyo rin naman yung knowledge na yon when you will be taking the board exam. No? Malay nyo, lumabas yung mga ganong klase ng problems. We do not know. Okay, so ang kasunod kasi is about simplex algorithm. No? I used to teach this, but not part of the MNW. No? Ang problema lang kasi dito, this is really a very long topic. No? And kaya siguro hindi na isinama to sa MMW. No? So talagang separate na siya. So makikita ninyo, dumadami ng ganito karami yung unknowns. Yan. And sometimes even the constants ay kailangan nyo pa din siyang determine. No? So ganyan karami ang encounter ninyo unknowns. That's why you will need so many equations, no? And you will need several graphs like this one. But if you are interested with this solution, no, pwede niyo siyang aralin kasi ako naman ang nagawa nitong learning plan na to. I mean, instructional materials. No? I personally encoded this. Alam niyo ang problem ng paggagawa kayo ng ganitong materials is dapat yung nag-encode, maalam siya doon sa ini-encode, no? If you ask somebody to encode what you're doing, sometimes, halimbawa, nakasulat lang siya sa papel, at tapos pinapakopya mo, pinapaka-encode mo. Ang problema doon, pag hindi sure kung ano yung i-encode, halimbawa, malabo ang pagkakasulat, no? Most likely, mali yung ma-encode. Okay, so pero kung ikaw na mismo yung mag-encode, naintindihan mo siya, and you can even make your own solutions just like this one. No? Worded descriptions. You can do the worded descriptions. Everything you can describe every step of the solutions. No? Yeah. So, ang haba, di ba? Sobrang haba to. Siguro ang isang problem na to, isang meeting, 3 hours. Sa totoo lang. Okay, so that ends my lecture. Any question? Wala nang tanong, no? Okay. So definitely we can no longer move our final exam, which is January 30, no? Baka mamaya mayroon na namang bagong announcement na walang pasok, ha? Because I was told January 29 ay holiday, no? Buti na lang Wednesday siya. Pero kung holiday pa na naman uli yung 30, no? So kailangan gumawa tayo ng ating plan. No? Magpag-usapan natin yan. You cannot take the exam very late because it's enrollment already. And, the second semester ay halos walang bakasyon. Makakapasok kayo sa teacher ninyo, pero how can you do that kung hindi ka naka-enroll, di ba? Makakapasok ka sa second semester if you want, kahit sit-in ka. Pero, the problem is you are not yet enrolled. Kaya kailangan maka-exam na kayo. Meron bang gusto mag-comment, suggestion, reaction? From my other section, baka merong gustong magsalita, CPE 17. Hello? Alam niyo, yung attendance nyo dito, i-extra ko pa to eh. Yung last time na magkasama kayo, nahirapan ako. Yes, Maria Teresa May De
Good evening
Jesus.
po, ma'am.
Dito
Ask ko
din.
lang po, January 30 din po ba yung final exam din po namin?
Would you like to take earlier? Yes, January 30 in my schedule. Kasi I'm just following yung day na every Thursday ang klase ninyo. But if you wish to take the exam earlier, pwede naman. Sabihan nyo lang ako. Oo.
Okay po, ma'am. Thank you po.
Okay, so if you wish to take the exam or schedule the final exam earlier, well, that's fine, no? Mas maganda yon para hindi tayo masyadong madelay sa encoding. And ano pa, ang coverage ng final exam niyo is from chapter 1 up to chapter 6. In short, kasama ang linear programming, no? And you will be amazed how I use graphing. I mean, linear programming for online exam, no? Online pa rin ang exam ninyo. Madali lang. Yan. Para yung ginawa ko dun sa graph theory, di ba? Hindi ko naman talaga kayo pinag-graph online. Pero nag-solve kayo. So, ganun din sa linear programming. Magsa-solve kayo sa scratch paper ninyo and your answer will be reflected in the online exam. Yeah. Okay, so let me now, let me invite you for together mode for our last class picture for this semester. Join me. Okay, so I am thinking na kung bumisita ako sa main, sa PUP ay batiin niyo ako, no? For sure, hindi ko naman kayo maaalala, mga face ninyo. Oo, just say hi at magsabi kayong naging estudyante ko kayo, ha? Kasi I remember one time yung may isang student na nakasabay ko sa elevator ng MRT, no? CPE 7 yun. Kaya lang hindi ko na siya maalala yung name. I hope you remember na kayo ay nakasama ko sa elevator. Yan. Sige, bye-bye. Ay, bye-bye. Smile. Yan. Nag-bye-bye agad ang teacher eh. No, aaga natin, di ba? Sabi ko, sandali lang yung topic na yan eh. Okay, so wait lang. Alam nyo, biglang nawala yung aking mouse eh. Ayaw lumalaw. Ayaw mag-paste. Okay, wait. Ano ba tong mouse na to? Pagka ganitong hindi ka masyadong maalam sa repairs and other concerns, natataranta eh, no? O, smile ulit. Smile. Ang dami nyo. Yan, okay. So, face natin. So, good luck sa exam niyo, no? Congratulations. Tapos na kayo sa klase natin. Okay, and good luck to all your final examination. Yan. Okay, so magsabi kayo kung gusto nyo mag-take ng exam ng mas maaga, ha? Okay? Yung klase ninyo, your class. Wala nang reaction? I will still return the assignments and the last quiz and also the final exam, ha? Okay, so bye-bye everyone. Enjoy your dinner.
Thank you po,
By the
ma'am.
way, thank
Fine,
you.
thank you po, ma'am.
Oo, thank
po,
you
ma'am.
also for being my
Thank you
student,
po.
no?
Thank you
May
po, ma'am.
konting
Thank you po, ma'am.
pasaway, pero okay na din. kung minsan, yun ang challenging eh, yung may konting pasaway sa klase. Bye-bye.
Thank you
Bye,
po.
bye
Bye,
po,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Thank you also
Thank you
for
po.
being my
Stay safe po always.
students.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.